that came from Congress,
Yeah.
it was all sort of coming down at this moment, that they wanted that server and they wanted to see everything on it. What do you think?
Well, that's right. I mean, you know, Martha, I have always thought that this email server, the email scandal, was Hillary's most vulnerable issue in this campaign. If you look back to this period, remember when it was breaking, the stories were coming out, and she finally held a news conference on it. And it was a terrible performance on her part. People both across the political spectrum said she did a very poor job of explaining what was going on here. And if you look at the polls back then, her numbers went straight down after that press conference, and they have stayed down, you know, on trustworthy and credible, and so it's never gone back up. Now, if this story is emerging that Barack Obama may have somehow been involved in trying to talk to her about these emails, I think that's something that Trump should definitely raise. And here's the irony, Martha. Remember, back in 2008, Barack Obama and the progressives defeated the Clinton machine. The progressives never liked Bill and Hillary Clinton. They didn't like their control of the Democratic Party. Fast forward to now, and the Democrats and the Clintons are now enveloping even Barack Obama in this scandal. He's got to be very unhappy that this story is coming out.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the time frame on all of this. There was a so-called vulnerability meeting that they talk about among Hillary Clinton's staffers. So, I mean, you know, you can read into that. Perhaps they were trying to figure out how vulnerable she was on this issue. But, you know, time and time again through all of this, Dan, the question that has come up is, this is the Secretary of State and the President of the United States. How could they never have communicated on email? And yet there's not one email between the two of them that has surfaced in any of this. And that's a bit of a head scratcher. And now we're hearing from John Podesta, the chairman of her campaign, in an email to Cheryl Mills, one of her closest advisors, who the FBI gave immunity to, essentially, in this whole thing, which is another big question. You know, does the FBI know whether or not there were any emails between Hillary Clinton and President Obama? There's another question.
They're all good questions, and perhaps it will. I mean, this is the sort of thing we talk about October surprises. We're getting an October surprise virtually every other day now, and perhaps in these WikiLeaks dumps over the next several days, couple weeks, you will see an email between Hillary Clinton and the President of the United States. And I think Obama will be appalled. The Obama operation is much more careful and circumspect than what we have seen going on with the Clintons. I mean, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, running her email server like an open faucet for 4 years, that would never happen inside the White House.
The stuff that they discussed about people and different groups and everything. I mean, it really is. You wrote a great piece yesterday, as you always do, in your Wonderland column in the Wall Street Journal called Trump's Party of One. And it raises an interesting point about, he's out there on his own, sort of at the front of the ship, waving his flag, and some say the ship's going down, but it remains to be seen.
Well, I think Donald Trump is right where he wants to be now, all alone, the center of attention. Let's face it, this is Donald Trump superstar. And I am not saying any of this to denigrate Trump's candidacy. I think I'm describing the reality. Donald Trump was always a mega celebrity, and celebrities exist in another atmosphere than the rest of us. I never thought it was in the cards that Donald Trump, superstar, was going to be able to integrate his interest with the pedestrian